today, will be starting racing at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the IndyCar Grand Prix, but leading into the 101st running of the Indianapolis 500. And we are sitting in here as the teams are now taking the wheels off their Indy cars and figuring out how to float them, because it will be, it's going to take an arc, I think, to win the IndyCar Grand Prix next week. The nice thing about that race, just to remind your friends, that we actually do run in the rain. So if this rain continues into the 40 days and 40 nights flood, we will still run at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And actually, it's a lot of fun to see them run in the rain. But this morning, we're here to kick off in the month of May in the way that we will kick off the race as the 33 cars run down to take the green flag for the Indy 500 behind a beautiful Chevrolet pace car. This is one of the things that we at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway look forward to every year. The relationship with Chevy is so important, and that pace car is really the green light, if you will, to getting the 101st running of the Indy 500 underway. But before we get started talking about Chevrolet, we have been fortunate at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to have great leaders in the city of Indianapolis, and it's no difference now as Mayor Hogsett gets to be the mayor for the second time at the Indianapolis 500. We have a great partnership with the city. We have a great partnership with the mayor's administration. The mayor has always been very supportive of us, and we are excited that you are here to help us kick things off with a pace car. So with that, I'll have the mayor come up and make a few comments.
Thanks, Doug. Well, thank you, Doug, and welcome to all. This is an exciting day, albeit wet. You know, I have to take some responsibility. Mayors get blamed for everything. So, Doug, I will promise you that we're going to get the rain out of the way in the early part of the month, so that the final 2 weeks, as we lead up to the 101st running of the Indianapolis 500, it's going to be sunny and warm. You have my commitment in that regard. And frankly, I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge and thank Pacers and Fever Sports and Entertainment for hosting us, Rick, this morning. You know, today, and Doug, I think you'd agree with this, shows how those seminal sporting actors in our community collaborate and cooperate at every turn. It's raining, so we're inside Bankers Life Fieldhouse celebrating not basketball, not entertainment, but the Indianapolis 500. So thanks to the Pacers and Fevers organization for their cooperation, and to Chevrolet. Welcome, Jeff. You know, in the summer of 1909, none of us were here. I hope. The world was a different place when the Speedway opened. You could swap a nickel for a bottle of Coca-Cola. Try doing that today. In 1909, the explorers had finally reached the North Pole. And Indianapolis, in 1909, was a railroad town of approximately 200,000 people, with a mayor by the name of Charles A. Bookwalter. The world is a much different place today. The cars are much faster than they were in 1909. But having said that, the Indianapolis 500 remains a defining piece of our city's culture and of this great city's heritage. Each year, one of the exciting aspects of the month of May leading up to the Indianapolis 500 is the unveiling of the Indianapolis 500 pace car. It's a monumental occasion for Indianapolis because it means, in no small measure, that the greatest spectacle in racing is just a few short weeks away. And the month of May, I don't need to tell you that those of us here in Indianapolis understand the month of May here in Indianapolis is unlike any other. The 2.5-mile oval that lies silent and wet, perhaps, today, will soon be filled with the cheers of hundreds of thousands of fans, the roar of 33 Indy cars, exhilarating sounds that you don't just hear, but that you feel. These sounds define what it means to experience the venerable Indianapolis Motor Speedway and the historic Indianapolis 500-mile race. So just as our ears know that an exciting Indy 500 is about to begin when we hear that iconic call, ladies and gentlemen, start your engines, today we celebrate for the first time what our eyes look for, what we are keenly aware of as the laps begin. That famous pace car that marks the start of yet another historic 500-mile race. I look forward to it. And again, I promise that it will not only be a wonderful event culminating the month of May, but that it'll be sunny and that it'll be dry. Thank you for having me today.
So on May 28th, if it's not sunny and dry and you get a knock on the 25th floor of the City County building, you'll know who's there asking for some help. But thank you for being here today. Really appreciate your support of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and the Indy 500, and you're doing a great job leading our city. Thank you so much for that. With that, I think the next thing to do is, we've got this really cool campaign that's going on right now, and you've seen it around the city. You've seen it on the JW, the greatest city in racing. We all know the greatest spectacle in racing. We have one of the greatest partnerships in racing with the folks at Chevrolet, and we are going to unveil today the greatest pace car in racing. And to help us do that with Chevrolet is Jeff Chu, one of the great partners that we have. Jeff runs the motorsports program for Chevrolet. There is not anybody on earth that travels more than Jeff does. We appreciate you coming here today. So Jeff, if you could come up and help us unveil this year's pace car. Thank you.
Well, to echo everyone's sentiments here, thank you for joining us today. We're inside, it's warm and it's dry, and what a cool backdrop. I had no idea this was in here. This is perfect. As Doug alluded, we're very proud of our long-standing relationship with Indianapolis Motor Speedway. For as long as I can remember, we've been the official vehicle and the official pace car here. We had a great event first part of April where we distributed 101 Camaro SS convertibles out to the 500 Festival Parade Committee as well as to the Speedway. And hopefully you've seen them running around town in various locations and hopefully in some parades or whatever. But the neat thing is this year we've been able to tie the pace car design and look and feel so closely to those Camaros that you see out there that it's just a phenomenal execution that we did. This marks the 28th time that Chevrolet will pace the Indianapolis 500, and I'm here today to tell you this is the 14th time that a Chevrolet Corvette will lead the field to the green flag. So we're excited to bring Corvette back. The first time Corvette paced here, I think everybody can probably remember the black and silver 78, a very iconic pace car that we still have one in the museum here. No other car has served as the pace car more at the Speedway than Corvette. Let me tell you a little bit about the car that we'll show you here in just a second. It's a 2017 Chevrolet Corvette Grand Sport. And the Grand Sport in and of itself, it's got a wide body, lightweight architecture. It's got massive brakes, some incredible tires that allow it to have a phenomenal track presence, and some really truly track-honed aerodynamics that allow the car easily serve as the 500 pace car for the 101st running. It's a 460 horsepower LT1 V8, 0 to 60, 3.6 seconds, and if you're so disposed, Doug, it'll do the quarter in 11.8. The package that we designed for this year's car is completed. It's got an LED safety strobe system, state-of-the-art. It's got unique 101st running graphics package that are outstanding. You guys, congratulations on your logo this year. It's beautiful. And as I said before, this car is very closely aligned with the design on the 101 Camaros that are here in market. So, you know, with that, let's show everyone the 2017 Chevrolet Corvette Grand Sport Pace Car for the 101st running.
I like that. All right.
So Doug, I'm happy to present you with the 2017 Chevrolet Corvette Grand Sport Pace Car. And I've got two more just like it, getting ready to head down and join this one. So I have several on site.
Well, thank you, Jeff, and on behalf of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, our staff, and our 300,000 plus fans who will get to see that on May 28th this year, leading the 33 cars to the start-finish line, we're happy to accept that car. And we may have to figure out if it does an 11.8 and a quarter, so that'll be a midnight run when no one's at staff and no one knows I've taken, actually they hide the keys from me, so it's really difficult for me to get a hold of it. Again, thank you so much for all that you guys do for our sport, what you do for the city, the way you help the 500 Festival. It is a town that loves the Indy 500, but more importantly, it's a town that really enjoys our community connections together, and Chevrolet's been a big part of that, so we thank you for that. And this is the greatest pace car in racing. Thank you so much. So with that, I just want to thank everybody at Banker's Life for allowing us to be here. You guys are the greatest field house in racing, the greatest field house in the world. It really, for us to call you yesterday when we knew that it was going to rain, and for you guys to roll out the red carpet for us like this, that doesn't happen anywhere else in the country. You guys are amazing partners. Thank you for making this happen for us today. And as we're standing here along Georgia Street, where we thought we'd be if it was sunny, the banner that goes across Georgia Street will be representing this beautiful pace car in Chevrolet as we lead into the 100th running, or 101st running for the Indianapolis 500. So when you get a chance, if you're driving home, I know it's raining, you get a chance, drive down Georgia, and you'll be able to see it. I think it's like an 80-foot long replica of this pace car over the street. We're pretty excited about that, and excited about the way this town embraces the Indy 500. So with that, it is hashtag 500 Fashion Friday, so for those of you that are participating right along with us, thank you. Remember, we've got a few other Fridays to participate in that, so thank you for wearing those checkers, thank you for being excited, and we'll see you next week when we kick things off for the month of May on track. I do have one more thing that I forgot. One of the things we've been doing, as you all know, we've been giving out bottles of milk. Last year on the 100-day out, we gave 100 in one day. This year we decided to slow our pace a little bit. We have 101 bottles of milk that we've been trying to give out as we lead into the Indy 500. I was actually in D.C. and the vice president, we gave him one last week. We've been all over the country, celebrities. Alex Gamron was up with Alexander Rossi last night at Wrigley Field promoting the race and giving out bottles of milk. Today, we have an Alexander Rossi signed bottle of milk that we'd like to present to the greatest mayor in racing, Mayor Hawkston.
I'll add one last thing. If you want to see the Chevrolet heritage of the pace cars, I'm not sure if everyone knows, but the actual pace car for both the Indianapolis 500 and the Brickyard 400 are enshrined in the IMS Museum every year. So we've got a very large collection of Chevrolet pace cars. One of the three cars that we create here, whichever one you guys choose to start the race with, will immediately before it even cools off after the race, heads into the museum. So we'll be there for the fans the next day.
This is great. Yeah, Mike Blair with Sean. Yeah, I'll hold it. No, just hold that.
How you doing? This is IndyStar Motorsports Insider Jim Aiello, and this is Joe Tamburello, IndyStar's producer extraordinaire. We're here to talk about the unveiling of the 101st pace car, the greatest pace car in racing, as we just heard.
Yeah, that is a gorgeous Grand Sport back there. It's a 2017 Chevrolet Corvette Grand Sport. A few more options than the base Corvette that you could get out there.
Yep.
So that's a little bit wider stance and just a fantastic look to loving that blue stripe. I've always loved the side striping on the old Grand Sports ever since the 60s and there was a 96 Grand Sport that came back that had those red stripes on the side. I love them.
I like watching you geek out. Is what
Yeah,
I like watching you do this right now. So what we learned today was that this is the 28th time a Chevrolet will pace the Indy 500, and this is the 14th Corvette, I believe is what he said?
Yeah, and this is, I believe, the 9th Corvette since 2004.
Okay.
I think he said that there has been a contract basically with the IMS since 2002. Chevy has provided the pace cars, and with one bad hiccup in 2003 when the Chevy SSR was the, I guess you'd call that a pace car even though it's a truck. It's been either a Corvette or a Camaro, and
Will that truck make your list? I know you got a list coming up on IndyStar.com
Yeah,
of the worst pace cars of all time. I don't think this car will make it.
this will definitely not make it on there. This is a gorgeous car. We do have a list of the worst pace cars, and there is a video on that of the best pace cars of all time.
That should be fun as well.
Some of those on there, you know, we joke about. I think there was it was 2001 that they came out with the Oldsmobile Bravada SUV for the pace car.
Yeah.
That might have been a mistake.
Well, they gotta learn. It's
It's
can't get it right every
and
year.
there are a lot on there from the 80s that, you know, they were just a victim of their decade.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
back when you had Corvettes with 176 horsepower
Yes.
and things like that.
The
Not good times.
The 80s weren't great for everything. Music videos were kind of, they could use some work. Yeah, the 80s, they were trying to feel some things out. So no, but anyway, this car today, I mean, this is gorgeous, really.
Yeah, I'm not upset with this one. And you know, they do have a great relationship with Chevrolet. We were talking a little bit before now that there is historically it has to be an American-made car.
Right.
In my mind, I wouldn't be upset seeing like an Acura NSX lead the field because that is a gorgeous car with a lot of technology. But I'm absolutely not upset to see a Grand Sport at the top too. And this is Chevrolet at its best.
Absolutely, and you know what? I understand what you're saying, but of course, this is one of the biggest events in America that has seeped its tradition.
Yeah, and in the past they have had issues with that. 1991 there was a Dodge Stealth RT that was supposed to lead the field. Well, the UAW heard about this, and that is basically just a rebadged Mitsubishi 3000 GT.
Okay.
That didn't sit well with them. That was changed out at the last minute to a pre-production Dodge Viper. So it's probably going to be a long time before we see a Chevrolet.
It's gonna stay American. Right now, Chevrolet is the exclusive. They have the exclusive rights for the pace car, I believe.
Right.
I'm not sure how long. Probably should have looked, but I'm not sure how long that contract goes. But right now, like I said, if they're going to keep putting out cars like that, I'm pretty sure the 500 will continue to extend that contract.
I'm just glad to not see a Malibu out in front or something like that. It's good to see a sports car. So,
and they did a good job. I don't know if you guys were watching the event live here, but we're at Bankers Light Fieldhouse, and they did a great job of presenting here. They got some nice 500 history up here. It was supposed to be on Georgia Street, but obviously the weather in May has not been cooperative.
9 days of straight rain.
It's been brutal. I said I still can't believe we got the Fernando test in with clear weather for the most part.
Yeah.
So that was unbelievable. I think that's the only 7 hours consecutive that we had no rain. So no, today we were indoors to reveal the car, but I think everything went pretty well. Considering we
drove this out for people from around the corner.
Yeah, they started it up, and you could hear it back.
That sounds great.
It sounded great. I mean, it was cool. It kind of gave you that little chill, like of anticipation that I really enjoyed. So it was really great. Doug, the mayor made a nice speech beforehand, so that was really nice.
Yeah, and you gotta love Douglas' choice of bow ties today.
I
The
love
checkered
the bow
flag,
tie.
so-
You're gonna go on Twitter if you see. Doug's got a photo. He's been wearing a whole checkered flag suit that I wish he would have worn today, but I guess he thought it wouldn't be appropriate. I don't know why he didn't wear it today. But
Yeah.
just the tie is pretty good.
Well, we can give you guys one more look at this thing.
Yeah.
We'll get out of the way. But cheers.
Thanks.